It's 5:47 p.m. on a Tuesday evening in Palo Alto, California. The sun is setting behind the gleaming glass towers of Silicon Valley's tech giants. Inside a sleek startup office, a software engineer named Marcus sits hunched over three monitors, his eyes bloodshot from staring at code for the past 18 hours straight. He reaches into his desk drawer and pulls out a small baggie of white powder. This isn't his first time today. It won't be his last. Marcus isn't alone. Across the valley, in boardrooms and cubicles, in Tesla parking lots and Google cafeterias, a shadow economy is thriving. It's an empire built not on algorithms or artificial intelligence, but on something far more dangerous. Welcome to Silicon Valley's secret drug empire, where the pursuit of innovation has created an underground network that would make cartels jealous. This is the story most tech companies don't want you to hear. While they market themselves as the future of humanity, behind closed doors, their employees are fueling a billion-dollar black market that's reshaping how America's brightest minds work, live, and sometimes die. The statistics are staggering. Surveys estimate that 15 to 20% of software developers in Silicon Valley regularly use mind-altering substances for work. That's not party drugs for weekend fun. That's performance enhancement for Monday morning meetings. But how did we get here? How did the birthplace of innovation become the epicenter of America's most sophisticated drug culture? The answer lies in a perfect storm of factors that experts say have created the ideal breeding ground for substance abuse. We're talking about newly minted millionaires in their 20s, working 100-hour weeks under crushing deadlines, competing in an industry where being second to market can mean the difference between billions and bankruptcy. Add unlimited venture capital funding, minimal drug testing policies, and a culture that celebrates whatever it takes to win, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Or take a moment to think about your typical Silicon Valley worker. They're young, they're educated, they're making an average salary of $195,000 a year, with many earning significantly more. They have the means to bypass energy drinks and coffee. They can afford the good stuff, and in an industry where staying awake for days is considered a badge of honor, where crashing on office couches between coding marathons is normalized, substances like cocaine and methamphetamine aren't just recreational choices, they're business tools. But this isn't your typical drug story. This isn't about street corners and back alleys. This is about algorithm engineers purchasing premium cocaine through encrypted messaging apps. This is about venture capitalists microdosing LSD before board meetings. This is about pharmaceutical-grade stimulants being delivered to corporate campuses like Uber Eats orders. The sophistication of Silicon Valley's drug distribution network rivals that of its technology infrastructure. Dealers have adapted their business models to serve tech workers' unique needs and schedules. They're marketing stimulants like cocaine and methamphetamine specifically to professionals in the tech scene, understanding that these groups have high incomes and an appetite for substances that boost productivity. Drug-selling operations have literally set up shop near tech campuses to supply programmers working late-night shifts. Dealers connect with potential tech clients at bars, nightclubs, and on dating apps. Some have grown so brazen they're leaving bags of cocaine and Adderall in company bathrooms like some twisted version of corporate catering. One dealer who delivers high-grade cocaine to tech workers on demand day or night explains his business model simply. A lot of my customers are tech-savvy guys who like to party and have a good time, but cocaine also gives them an edge to work all night. Drug dealers, he says, tend to do business where their clients are located, and if these employees are tied to their desks 18 hours a day, well, that's where the dealers go too. The range of substances flooding Silicon Valley spans from traditional stimulants to cutting-edge psychedelics that sound like they belong in a science fiction novel. Amphetamines like Adderall and Ritalin are especially popular for their ability to increase energy, concentration, and mental endurance. But one of the most fascinating trends right now is the microdosing of psychedelics. Picture this. While taking a standard dose of psychedelic drugs would almost certainly make you incapable of working, microdosing has a very different effect. Where a recreational dose of LSD would cause you to see visual patterns and distortions, a microdose reportedly heightens alertness and creativity without the hallucinations. It's like performance enhancement for your brain's creative centers. Tech professionals in Silicon Valley perceive substances like psilocybin mushrooms, ketamine, and LSD as catalysts for unlocking creativity and achieving business breakthroughs. As psychedelic use has risen, tech founders, CEOs, and Silicon Valley elites have jumped on the bandwagon, taking these drugs with the intention of bolstering brain power, focus, and innovation. The cycle is brutal and methodical. Stimulants such as Adderall and cocaine provide the energy and concentration employees need to work for hours on end. When the job is done, drugs such as heroin and oxycodone are used to balance the effects of the stimulants, bringing workers down from their chemical highs so they can attempt to sleep before the cycle begins again. But it's not just illegal substances fueling this empire. Alcohol is incredibly prevalent in Silicon Valley culture. At many companies, drinking at work isn't just accepted, it's encouraged. Offices feature dedicated bars, and it becomes customary to have rounds of drinks after making sales or completing projects. The software startup Twilio, recently valued at over $1 billion, features an office beer fridge and liquor cabinet, with cocktail mixing often underway by 5 p.m. Dropbox has weekly staff happy hours nicknamed Whiskey Fridays, and Yelp's headquarters boasts a keg refrigerator and a bottomless beer policy. Silicon Valley psychedelic enthusiasts acquire their drugs through traditional dealers, by employing chemists directly, and by attending invite-only psychedelic parties organized via encrypted messaging apps like Signal. Invitees sometimes pay hundreds of dollars to attend these gatherings where they're asked to sign non-disclosure agreements, treating drug use like another startup pitch meeting. One dealer in San Francisco, playfully known as Costco after the popular retail chain, supplies significant quantities of drugs to the tech community. The nickname isn't accidental. Like the warehouse store, this dealer offers bulk quantities at competitive prices to a membership-based clientele. The phenomenon reflects the growing normalization of stimulant use in the industry. While tech companies may turn a blind eye to what gets results, experts caution that this practice exposes employees to risky black market substances of questionable purity and safety. Many tech companies do little or no drug testing because they want the results, but they don't want to know how their employees achieved those results. The pressure driving this underground economy is immense. Workers in the information technology industry are expected to stay awake for days and rely on substances to maintain excessively high production rates. Drug misuse has become a method of coping in a culture where profit and risk are prevalent themes, where the ability to work on crash projects at tremendous rates of speed is considered a professional virtue. A lot of the drug use in Silicon Valley stems from the unrealistic expectations people feel they must live up to. Workers in the area are expected to bring a certain energy at all times, to be constantly innovating, constantly disrupting, constantly changing the world. When Red Bull and coffee only get you so far, many gradually turn to meth and cocaine to keep going. But this story isn't just about statistics and trends. It's about real people making dangerous choices in pursuit of success, wealth, and recognition. And sometimes those choices have deadly consequences that reveal just how dark Silicon Valley's secret empire can become.